Release me, you ugly, most monstrous thing. Release you while I've only just caught you. You, my heart's desire. I did not catch you only to release you. So that's a conversation between the tree of life and the great goddess of creation, Nina Vanuma, from Indaba My Children by Ubaba Kredom Twavu Samazulu. It comes from Bantu mythology. This book is a collection of African tribal history, legends, customs, and religious beliefs. Something very important I wanted to like get from that story came from that specific paragraph or that specific dialogue, and it hinders around attachment, reluctance, and also avoidance. So I think even before I continue on with that, this was a gift. And if you know me, you know I love plants, and he's actually growing. When she gave me this gift, she told me that it's a guy. So I just stick to that, and you realize that I love plants, but he's still in a plastic cup. Well, that's because when she gave me him, she told me that she had also another plant, but then she transferred hers from like the water to the sand, and she thought it died. I don't know whether it did die. I did not follow up on that, but I did not want to risk that happening to this one. So then I did not I did not want to risk that happening. I wanted to maintain the raw form of it. From the way I saw it, it was just a gift. It was a harmless gift with no intention behind it. It was gratitude. It was saying, hey, you and I shared something and it has ended, but I still think that you deserve this for everything we shared together. At least that's how I saw it. And I cried for like 2 nights and 2 days after that. Cool. So you realize that it's still in the plastic cup because I did not want to let go of the dreams or the future wanted us to have together. I don't want anything to change. I was so reluctant in letting go. And then it reminded me of like something my grandmother used to say. You cannot want to apply aloe vera on your burnt wounds when you're still holding on to the coal that's burning you. I think this is something I did in my previous relationship that just ended, because in this relationship where this guy came from, I was shown the standard of being loved. I was shown what it looks like to be loved and what it looks like to also love. I think that was not, I think I know for a fact that was one of the healthiest relationships I was in. She showed me that, hey, I'm willing to trust you if you're also willing to trust me. It was a thing of, we might not believe everything we say, specifically from my side, but still, even then, I still trust you enough to actually sit down and be vulnerable with you and actually try and connect emotionally with you. And that is, I think, something that really lacked in the previous, okay, it wasn't really a relationship, more as in like a really advanced talking stage, I would say. But even then, it was with an avoidant person, and it was a chat of, hey, I can't really communicate the way you want me to communicate. I can't be there all the time. And in my mind, I thought, let me try and adjust, because everyone is different. So I tried to adjust, and then my dad told me something really important, and she said, you tried to shrink yourself to fit into a tiny space that was never meant for you. It was never meant for your size. And that's something that really hit home, because it's true. I came from having such high standards about how I wanted to be treated, and I kept lowering those standards over and over again just so I could feel loved. I kept lowering those standards just so I could continue to hold on to the trophy I thought I so desperately deserved. But in my mind, it had not clicked that yes, it's a trophy, but that trophy was not mine. It was for somebody else to cherish. And it was so difficult to come to terms with that, but I came to terms with it eventually. Because just a few days back, I remember one of my close friends was letting me know, oh, he was advising me to say, hey, Chet, my guy, when you're in a forest and you are going or you're walking around the forest and you continue crossing the same tree over and over again, or you cross the same tree twice, then you know you are lost. Basically, when you come across the same tree twice in the forest, you know you are lost. And this was his attempt to get me from not going back, because it came down to a point of me wanting to text and say, hey, I want us to try this again. And I think that advice, coupled with some other advices about choosing yourself and so on, this happy do good advice is what stopped me and reminded me that I want to go back to a place where I was not valued. I want to go back to a place where I had lowered my standards. I had done things that Alan would never ever have allowed himself to do, and lowered his standards just so he could feel loved, just so he could feel wanted. I think that is something that I had to come to terms with, and I think that is something that the Tree of Life also needed to come to terms with, but he did not. His story is way, way different than mine, but we thank that, because according to Bantu mythology, it's the reason we are still alive. It's the reason we are all here today. And then in terms of like me having to move on and now starting to apply aloe vera, is because I'm falling in love, and it's okay to fall in love. I think it's okay to be vulnerable. I think, like what the person I'm talking to told me, um if you are going to fall in love, you should fall in love with the expectancy that you might get your heart broken. If you have that fear, then you'll never truly be in love. Because when you fall in love, you go in knowing this could work out, and we could get married, and we could have kids, and we could be living somewhere, with a beautiful, beautiful vision in mind. Or you go in knowing this could not work out, I could get my heart broken, but I would cherish the memories that still remained from it. I think this is something, again, that's like really important to understand about me, is I love cherishing the memories. I love to remember all the times that I felt good when I was around you. I love to remember how you made me feel comfortable, or you made me feel happy, or you made me feel genuinely acknowledged, or you made me feel like I actually mattered, like I was important, especially during discussions. Because I love to talk a lot, but I love to find someone who also talks the way I talk, but at the same time also listens. So I'm also given a chance to keep quiet and you talk, and I just listen to you, because I love to study how you act and who you are and what makes you special and why I am so in love with you. All of these things. I'm just a hopeless romantic. Honestly, I won't lie. Um, I think, especially in terms of letting go, it's really difficult, and I can't say it's easy to let go. And I actually have an unhealthy trick about it. I push myself. I study 2 nights in a row. I cross night and I don't sleep, and I fry my brain to the point whereby it stops thinking, and I just stop thinking about anything. I think at that point, then I get this temporary relief with what is going on, but it's really unhealthy. So to end this, because it's getting a bit long, to end this, I would say leave the coal. I would say leave the coal. Apply that aloe vera. Let go of the coal. The coal is burning your hands, and you're already burning. Let go of the coal. It's burning you. Take the aloe vera, apply it. Let yourself be loved. Don't lower your standards for anything. Even if it means being single for the rest of your life, then be it. But don't lower your standards. Allow yourself to be loved again. Don't be scared. Enter love fearlessly. I'm not a motivational speaker, by the way. I'm just saying it really is in your hands if you're going to continue living the rest of your life depressed only because a certain dream of yours that you had didn't work out, or you are going to accept it and say, hey, it didn't work out, but it doesn't mean I have to stop here, right? You can alternate. That's the beauty of having the spirit of the creator within you. You have the power of change. You have the power of transformation. You are a river. You flow. You are a spirit itself. Flow, change, transform. Remember how rivers can cut through stone? Yes, it takes years, even millions of years. but in the end it's able to cut through stones, it's able to redirect, it's able to move underground on mountains, it's able to fall, and it still remains water. It does not change. You are powerful. Something you need to remember, something I had to remember during the dark times. And I think having this guy here, amazing by the way, having him also amazing, although it's me holding on. This was me telling you guys, hey, when you're holding coal in your hands wanting to get healed, you first have to let go of the coal and apply aloe vera on your hands. Apply that ointment, apply that healing balm, so that you can actually start to get better. Accept change and move on. Cheers guys, until next time, with me, Akabeka Imanga.